I think we have our Onam winner in Bethlehem Kudumba Unit, directed by Girish A, who co-wrote it with Kiran Jose. The director previously gave us the blockbuster Premalu, which is getting a Hindi remake. Check out my reel if you haven't. And actually, I knew who the director of the film is, but I, skipped that while I was watching the film. And afterwards, when I realized it is the same director, I was like, okay, that makes so much sense. There's so many things, so many actors in the film which were, in Premalu too. This film came out with another Malayalam film, Khalifa. The review's out. And there's a fun fact about both these films releasing on Onam, that both the film starts with the shot in the airplane while the announcement is going on. And I find that quite fascinating. Now, this film is just a breeze. It's fun, it's loving, it's heartwarming, perfect for family during festival. It usually doesn't happen, but my theatre had a great occupancy. It was the first show for the film, and the audience was having a blast throughout. There were genuinely some laugh out loud moments, even for me. I really wonder how they marketed this film, because even I didn't hear much about it. I just saw the trailer, I was excited for it. The bigger films that were clashing were Khalifa and I Am Game, which has now moved on to a different date. And it is a smaller film, but the amount of people that showed up, maybe it was, the festival week. That was the reason, like there were more people who showed up for this film than for the Khalifa show. But that was on Thursday, so maybe, holiday thing. Friday more people could have come. And it is the same producers of Premalu. It's Bhavana Studios, Fahadh Faasil, Dileesh, Pothan. So back-to-back bangers by them. There is an Onam video that the team shared, and it's like almost got 1 million views. Maybe that was the thing that draw many audiences. Whatever it may be, the film definitely had a lot of cultural references, and I could tell that because of the audience reaction. There were moments they were just laughing out loud, and it wasn't the same for me. And I understood there is some cultural thing that I'm not getting. I understood that there were a lot of memes and references from Kerala, the people there would know, which also roots the film very much in that locality. And the subtitles did a really good job. There were moments where they translated what was said to something else, but I understood the original dialogue which was said in Malayalam and what it was referring to. Now do let me know, was there a slang difference with the Malayalam that was being spoken? Because the area was different. They were talking about Angamali, which I remember from Angamali Diaries, and I could feel, the Malayalam is a bit different. It's sounding little different, which I'm used to. Did I catch it, or am I just hallucinating? Let me know. Now what I like in the film is that we are just dropped into the world of these characters. We are following the characters who are migrating from their hometown to a bigger city, and we explore this new area, this new locality, the characters there. A lot of humor is driven from the neighbors who are into making a short film. A lot of small meta references about filmmaking, which I really enjoyed. And the film is actually about the little things, the little moments between different characters, a father and son, the mother and son, the two brothers, the neighbors, the group of friends, the nudgy uncle, the forever Romeo, the drunkard friends, the ladies gang of the locality. So in this ensemble cast, there are so many mini groups, which just makes the place lived in. You would either connect to one or the other, and because of that, you as audience feel that you are part of this. You are also a member among them, witnessing everything. This film definitely comes under the Malayalam chill coined by our own Jimmy Cage, who's totally ripped now. Check out his Insta. But the film, takes its time, spending time with the characters, building up the relationships. But the humor is so well placed throughout that you never get bored. It constantly keeps you engaged. And even when the plot takes off and we get into the major conflicts of the story, the humor is very well woven into that too. And the film never lets it go until the end of the film. Nivin, Pauly, back-to-back bangers from him. And watching the film, I realized he is a heartthrob. His film Premam is a classic, which kind of taught many people about romance. There's a generation who grew up on that film. And to see him play a similar character which is of his age and it suits him really well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of nostalgia to it. His comedy timing is so good. He's cute, he's adorable, and he really balances that with the maturity his character has to show, which is really hard to pull off. But yet again, for me, the star was Mamitha Baiju. I think it's time we can declare her a superstar. Like literally back to back, she's given us age gap romance films, one in Tamil, one in Malayalam, and she's playing two totally different characters, and even acting in very different sensibilities, which fits the narrative that is being told in the style of those films. For Vishwanathan Sons, I said the same thing. Her screen presence is outstanding. That too at such a young age, such a young career is just, yes, we have to call her superstar now. And here again, just like Premalu, they keep the love aspect very real. It feels very organic. It almost feels like a naturally occurring event. And it fits really well in this world, which is not very dramatic. And that's where I felt a little disconnected, because later in the plot, when things get serious, the film does get dramatic. But because the love angle was not dramatic, it just doesn't click at the end. Now, the age gap love stories are a very controversial thing. There will be debate about it. What is right, what is wrong. At the end, it is a choice of the person. But in our Indian culture, it's also the choice of the parents. And we can have different arguments about it. Love is love. Age should not matter. It should be your choice. Then if you look at the family side, especially in our culture, we are so close to them that you don't want to go against their wishes. Our parents are also thinking about our welfare in their own way, which we may not understand. And I like that the film includes this nice scene between mother and daughter, where the mother is actually emotionally blackmailing her, but her words make sense. The sacrifice your parents make for you. And in return of that, they expect something, a sense of loyalty. And for the child to give up all that just because they fell in love with someone, that would definitely shatter any parent. And the third way could be keeping it open, not taking any sides, leaving it to the audience to decide what is right, what is wrong, according to their sensibilities. Now, where this film BKU takes it, where the characters are saying that their love is so deep that they cannot live without each other, that for me didn't really work, because the way the film portrays it, the organic way of them falling in love, it almost felt like a fling. I never felt that they had this very deep connection, a deep bond which is superior to anything in their life, which most romantic films kind of create, that sense, the drama. That's why I said the film doesn't go there, it doesn't make it very dramatic. So when these dramatic turns happen in the film, it feels a little out of place. So for these characters it may seem that the love between them is everything, but how much we understand watching the film, watching them, maybe it's not. Maybe jumping to the conclusion would be too soon. Now with Vishwanath & Sons, which is dealing with a similar topic, my complaint there was that they didn't really dive deep into the issue. They dealt with it at a very surface level. Now in BKU, we actually see the real world consequences of that, especially the social strata these characters belong to. For these middle class characters, this is a very big thing. They will get mocked in the society. In Vishwanath & Sons, the way the film ends, it is more convincing because there is that baby angle in it. She is also the mother of the kid. So for them to say that they can stay together, it feels more convincing. Whereas in this film, I didn't feel that conviction. The characters taking that call feels very, too soon. Take your time. Explore the world. Maybe this is it, or maybe it's not. Take your time. There's no need to hurry into it. Now maybe there's a sequel to this where things can go anywhere. We don't get a definite end to the story. But what do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts. There are a few actors I want to specially mention because they did great job and made me laugh a lot. Sangeet Pratap as the brother, as the short filmmaker, the quirks he brought, really enjoyed it. Suresh Krishna as Johnny, his friend, who's also unmarried. He brought so much laughter with his one-liners. Vinay Ford as always was amazing. And Roshan Shanavas as Glickson. One of my favorite moments is, "Hi, Glickson. Where?" Mamitha, Baiju killed it. Now there's one more thing I want to talk about, which is, I don't know how to put it, but there's this cultural angle that they do in the climax, which just felt little off to me. Like, that could be offensive to some. I'm sure that was not the intention of the makers, but the sensitive times we live in, it may create some discourse. I'm talking about the Kantara moment. I'm not sure, I just, watching that sequence, it felt a bit, inappropriate. But as a whole, the film is a great watch. I know it's already doing great business. And it's a great watch for Onam. Yet again, the producers have delivered a really good film. And I'm sure there's lots more, which as a non-Malayali, I didn't get. But I'll be happy, to explore what I missed. But what I didn't miss was Khalifa. Check out my review here and my thoughts on the mass problem of Malayalam cinema. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you next time.